Welcome, hello everyone. It is Behind Enemy Lines. Do we have a theme song yet? Do you know? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I guess that
Maybe
is the theme song right now.
maybe
So
that's
that
it right
sucks.
there. Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah, that's
It,
awesome, dude.
yeah, that's the best theme song ever. Honestly, it's as catchy, if not more catchy, than the "Gotta Catch 'Em All." Hey, don't sue us, Nintendo. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Behind Enemy Lines. This is Behind Enemy Lines night tonight. As we are, last time we taped it in the middle of the afternoon. Now we're taping it at a good old 8:47 p.m. post daylight savings time. We are down an hour of sleep. Josh, how are you feeling?
I'm good. We're down an hour of sleep, but the sun is out later, which is
Oh
awesome.
man,
It's great. And the weather in New York, we're having fall spring right now. It's phenomenal.
we have literally about 4 more hours of beautiful weather until it starts raining, and I'm seeing borderline snow
I
coming in
know.
this
It's like
weekend.
it's such a tease, and it's every year, and everyone knows who lives in like a cold climate. You get that week in March where it's nice, it's beautiful, everyone's in short sleeves, everyone's happy again. I work for a coffee store, everyone's getting nice drinks. It's a fun time, and then next week it's gonna be just depressing and gray and cold and sad, and it's another month of that.
Oh, I mean, I host Trivia Weekly, and we hit 16 teams last night.
That's a
At
high in
at
months, I'm
a
sure.
I was about to say typically in the summer we'll get around that number, but in the winter, we typically tread between 6 to 9, right? Teams.
Nice.
So, yeah, we basically hit, yeah, nice. We basically hit around 10 more teams than usual. And we were down some regulars, so it was one of those. It's been a gorgeous couple of days. I've been enjoying it. It's also the beginning of the league year, man. It is the first day of the NFL league year. The league officially launched this
It
morning.
did.
New season is upon us. I guess you could say that. New off season, at least. And with that came some transactions. It's really funny because the NFL season is officially here, but our dynasty league still hasn't been renewed. So I don't know what you're doing there. At this point, I'm gonna bring it up every week until
I'm
you do it.
I'm very incentivized to do it based off of some of these transactions that have actually happened because I have some players that I'm like, hey, let's get these guys moving. Maybe I got some hidden value now on my roster. Before we get there, can I just go off on something real quick?
Go for it.
Completely random, but it's on my mind because we're filming this the day after Bam Adebayo made history last night.
Oh man.
And I'm seeing a lot of people and their reaction and the cheapness of the night and the 83 points and how it's like the NBA and oh my god, like it's ruined. And can I just say it was awesome. Can we just appreciate how cool it was? Like records are meant to be broken, and he broke it. And in the first quarter, he had like 31 points, true earned. Like his numbers were great. And by halftime, he had 43. And by the end of the third, he had 63. And it was only a 15-point game. All right? And everyone who's gotten close to that number in the NBA, they get pulled. Oh, the team's up. If you're that, go for it. Just do it. Go break a record. It's cool. I don't care that he shot like 43 free throws and made 43, which is great for him for the record as a career stat. It was a defining moment for this guy. This is what he will be remembered as. This is his legacy. He's not winning rings like that. He got a gold medal. That's super cool. He's a great defensive player. He's an all-star. He is now the second person ever to have he is on that list. He's second under
Yeah.
Wilt's 100, right? And if you look back at that Wilt game, which everybody is notoriously like that's a little suspicious, and also his team did the same thing, the fouls and all that. I mean, Bam Adebayo's getting triple teamed. Of course he's getting fouled. You have a problem with fouls, go talk to the officials, all right? I don't care if you're up by 40 and you're still going for it. You're so close. If you're that close, just do it. You know what I mean? And I think it's just cool.
Yeah.
And it made me so upset to see some of the hate today, and I just wanted to get that out there.
So I agree with you. I do think, and it was really cool. I was tuning in. around midway through and after trivia and everything. So I was talking, like Bam was having some fantastic shots. Like he was just on one.
He was on
And
one.
it's not like we're talking about Steph Curry, who's shooting, like is known for his shooting, is a beautiful free throw shooter, right? Can shoot for threes all day and whatnot. Okay. And it's not like we're also talking about like SGA, who is known notoriously for baiting fouls. So, the NBA is not all of a sudden going to sit there. Like, the refs aren't like, hey, you know what, man? Let's just give Bam Adebayo 30 free throws tonight.
They didn't plan for that.
No, correct. So my thing is, like, look, he was making it. Also, we're talking about a center doing this. In the days of Hack-a-Shaq, like, this is, for a center to be able to make that many free throws, go for it, dude. Like, seriously. Yeah. Like, if you can make it, that's awesome. Where I will say, and what I think the narrative and what people will not admit is a little bit of a hot take, but I think the what people will not admit that bothers them, I think, and what they might be able to cheapen this on, right, is that you had the two top highest point getters ever, was Wilt and Kobe, two Hall of Famers, two fantastic players. I can't tell you today that Bam Adebayo is going to make the Hall of Fame.
No, but he will be remembered forever for this.
Correct. And my thing is, I think to some people, they will say that this, quote-unquote, cheapens the significance because he's not an all-time great. And I think that it's a shame that people are going to say that. And I think that it's a kind of a knock on him because he's a fantastic player and he should be rewarded for having a fantastic game. Like give him his flowers. Like don't look at the longevity of like his career and be like, oh well, can he do this? It's like, that's fantastic. It's fantastic that he scored it. But I think that is something that's kind of undertoned and underlying with a lot of people is that they're sitting there going, well, but he's not an all-time great.
I'm sure if this was a different player, the reaction could be different. If this was Luka, if this was Steph, if this was LeBron,
that's exactly my thought, right?
It could totally be different. I just think I'm just gonna say you did an awesome, cool thing. I'm gonna praise you for it because you did. I think a lot of people, even the announcer, when he got to 81, he was like, oh, and now he's coming out because no way he's gonna pass Kobe, right? And the take that people are saying like, oh my god, I can't believe you passed Kobe. Kobe would have passed Kobe. What are we talking about? That's the mentality. If you're that close, and like obviously Kobe's game was different. They were down at the half by like 20 or something. It was a 5-point game late. I mean, you're not gonna get that many points if you don't have the volume. I don't care. Yeah. Oh my God, he took so many shots. Of course he took that many shots. He has 83 points. You can't do it without the volume. But it's like, yeah, you're close and. Up until that fourth quarter, it was not that bad of a game. It got out of hand, and you know what? I praise him for it. I'm happy they kept him in. I'm glad he broke it. And if another player gets close, obviously no one wants the league to turn into this, like, if Luka any given night wants to just go, hey, I'm getting the ball every possession, and you can do that. That's not going to happen. Maybe if you're close again and go for it. Break records. Who cares? It's cool. I advocate for it. So anyway, we can get back to the NFL now. It was just the night after and
and I will say I don't know if you saw Wemby's interview about it when they asked him.
I saw Giannis's interview. I didn't see Wemby's.
So Wemby when they asked him, he got real quiet. Didn't say anything. Kind of just said, I saw that. That's it.
Do you know what? Hey, do you know what, Wemby? Go get 100. I bet you could.
Well, that's exactly where I was going with that. I'm fully calling by the end of his career 101.
Totally. That would be so cool. Yep. Are you kidding?
To me,
would love it.
It was crazy. I challenge you to go look at that interview because it's pretty crazy. You can see literally just something switch, and I'm like,
he wants that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No. That's gonna be crazy. And I'm feeling, and we'll come back to this episode, and we'll go, wow, we said it. No, I think he's gonna get 101 in his career at some point.
That'd be awesome.
So to segue into the NFL, I actually do want to do a little game here.
Okay.
We're talking about breaking records, all time records.
Naturally.
Can you tell me? We'll start. So first of all, your debate. What matters most? The all time rushing game record, the all-time receiving game record, or the all-time passing game record?
It's
If you had to rank like the impactfulness on that,
okay. Well, the impactfulness of the record,
not even on like a game, yeah, the impactfulness on the record, like be like, wow, that's a because you can talk about the points in a game record is probably
right,
more significant than the 3-pointers made in a game, right?
right. I think,
or rebounds in a game.
yeah, I think that people are gonna say either like in terms of importance of record, maybe rushing or receiving, just because it doesn't get broken all that often, and it's really not talked about. Whereas quarterbacks have, I think the record, what's it at, 500 something? Nick Foles in the Super Bowl.
So I will tell you,
it's
554, but I'm not going to tell you who, and I'm going to ask you to tell me. But
yeah,
we'll get to that.
Well, it's either Brady, Nick Foles, or like not Jalen Hurts. He had a really good game, but not that good. I think it's one of them. But I think with then the amount of like 400-yard games you can see from a quarterback any given season is significantly high. And what's the current receiving record?
There have been 25 players ever to have 500 or more.
Yeah,
one of which being Dak Prescott.
No, I know. It's like I think like that threshold's a lot more achievable. I don't know if we talk about the receiving thing and the running back thing.
The receiving record is 336.
Right. It's like crazy. That I feel like
and
receiving
the rushing is 296.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like those are ridiculous records to me. Those are so hard to achieve in 4 quarters, especially at that position, because they're dependent on getting the ball. Yep. And it's like unless like you have 3-4 like 100-yard pass, like, you need volume, and it's completely dependent on play calling because when you're getting there, I mean, you don't tailor the game to break records, but you're definitely not going to, and it's so much harder when you have someone defending you and like trying to stop you. And anyway, I think receiving first.
I would agree with you. There's been 16 players that have rushed for over 250 yards or more.
Yeah. I think it's
only 6 players that have caught for 300 or more. I would say it's receiving.
I think it's receiving. It just when we talk about breaking the receiving record, we almost never talk about the yards in a game. It's always yards in the season.
Yep.
Right? Who can get to 2,000 and who's going to get close to that record, right? That's when we talk about receivers. No one's really reaching that point. And so I think because it's so much more challenging to get there, I'm going to say that first, running back second, and then quarterback third, because we're in a passing volume heavy league, and there's 17 games now, and it's just there's more opportunities to throw for 500 plus yards. And
so I'm glad that you said it. So let's start with passing then, though.
Okay.
Who is the all-time leader passing yards in a game? 554.
I mean, it's either Brady or Nick Foles, right? I'm pretty sure it's Brady that was right.
Nick Foles had a lot of touchdowns. I'll remind you.
I know that, but I'm pretty sure like the whole thing was like the Eagles beat Tom Brady at his best, and it's Jalen Hurts in that really great Super Bowl he had against the Chiefs.
We're not talking about in a Super Bowl. We're talking about in a game ever.
No, I know, but I think it's the Super Bowl. Like, let me put it this way: the Super Bowl performances are what come to mind because I think it was either Brady or Hurts who had the losses, but the crazy stats. Maybe they only put up like 400 yards, and those are Super Bowl records and not game records, and that's where I might be making my mistake. But I'm just gonna go for Tom Brady and that Eagles Pats Super Bowl, and that might be like a Super Bowl record though, not a game record.
Okay, so what I will tell you. In one game. I'll tell you who he played against.
Okay.
Okay, so he played for the Los Angeles Rams.
He was a... Oh, was it no, it wasn't the golf game, was it?
But he played against Los Angeles Rams, and he played against the New York Yanks.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, was it the Chiefs?
It's Hall of Famer Norm Van Brocklin in 1951.
Okay.
So the fact that when you were saying, when you were like, I was thinking, it's a passing league now.
That's fair.
It's 17 games. I was like, I'm glad you said that.
That's impressive.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the Super Bowl record then.
Tied in second. With 527, so about 30 less yards. Both players played for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
One for the Houston Oilers against Kansas City.
Jeez. Yeah, how was I
That's
supposed
Hall
to
of
know any
Famer
of this?
Warren Moon. Hall of Famer Warren Moon.
Okay, yeah.
And tied with him that played for the Houston Texans against the
Uh-huh.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
Matt Schaub.
Jesus. I mean, who are we talking
Matt
about here?
freaking Schaub.
Jesus.
Dude.
I'm thinking. I was
And
thinking about
then
Super
number
Bowl record,
4.
man.
Yeah, number 4. We'll give you a name that you remember, which is Joe Burrow. At
Oh
525
yeah, he did have that crazy
against
game.
the Ravens.
That's right. I
But
forgot about that one.
yeah, I mean that's so it's funny, right? The narrative is this is a passing league now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the actual games, like game concentration, yes, true. There have been more games as I'm looking right now since like 2010 where a player has thrown for 500 plus yards
Right.
than before in the entire history of the league. However, those peak games, I mean, even if you go down to, it's like 1951, 2012, 1990, 2021, 2014, 1996, 1998, or 1988. I mean, it is like the
That's crazy.
game. It's before, like, it's pretty much, what is that? 4 out of 7 are pre 2000, which is kind of crazy.
That's crazy. I won't lie.
Yeah. Now, if you go over to rushing, so by the way, and the other thing I was gonna say, so this is to give Bam Adebayo credit. You don't have to make the Hall of Fame to do this. Matt Schaub's not gonna be in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah.
And 527, it's like again, give him his flowers. No one talks about Matt Schaub's game, but that's when people look it up. When two dummies look it up on a podcast,
Right.
yeah, no, I go, wow, Matt Schaub, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's completely valid. Like we're living in the moment, so it's like, who's gonna forget about this? It might be forgotten eventually, right? I think like, the big controversy with the Bam thing is obviously the Kobe. Like Kobe had 81, and that's gonna be the whole thing. Anyway, you were going to receiving.
So rushing, who owns the record at 296?
That's Adrian Peterson, right?
It is
It's
Adrian
not like
Peterson?
yeah, okay, yeah. It's like I think right behind him is Jamal Lewis, but I'm pretty
At
sure
295,
Adrian.
yeah, by
Yeah,
1
yeah, yeah,
yard.
yeah. Yeah, I think Adrian Peterson has it though. I do know that oddly off the top of my head.
So you have that. Then you have at 286.
Mm-hmm.
I
can tell you who's third.
2009 running back. So by the way, again,
2000. Who?
keeping the narrative of this is a passing league now.
Yeah.
The first 4 of these are all post 2000.
But like pre 2010, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so it's like there's that wiggle room, right? Like early, you still have like run and ground pound football, and we're kind of getting back there. But anyway, keep going.
Well, and so you have Jerome Harrison with the Cleveland Browns against Kansas City Chiefs in
Wouldn't have
2009.
even thought about that.
Then you got Corey Dillon with the Bengals, man, in 2000. And then
Walton
so you
Payton's
don't
got to
get
be on
to
that list, right?
yeah, Corey. Say that again. Walton Payton. So he's number 5.
Okay, I was like, he's got to be
you
somewhere.
You don't hit a Hall of Famer till number 5. Now, Adrian Peterson probably should be.
He
soon.
will be. Yeah.
But in the active Hall of Fame right now, you do not hit a Hall of Famer till number 5. Then you get OJ at number 6. Some current names here. Yeah, current names here. You do get Jamal Charles in there at 259. For him, man. Jamal Charles was a beast back in the day, and people forget it. He's a beast. I love the guy. You do have Saquon Barkley at 255 in 2024. You get Jonathan Taylor at 253 in 2021. You get DeMarco Murray at 250.
DeMarco Murray? Really?
Yeah, in 2011. Good old the muscle hamster Doug Martin, rest in peace. You give him at 251 in 2012, and you got Derrick Henry in 2021. The fact I don't see Derrick Henry, I guess, okay, so if you're going over in top 25, Derrick Henry shows up twice, Jonathan Taylor shows up twice. But I feel like I almost expect to see Derrick Henry more.
I don't know if he's ever really gotten, like, I remember Derrick Henry, like, as, like, this beast running back who can just tackle a guy. I don't think of him, and he, like, 100-yard games, like, he can get him. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think of him as like a back that can like sustain. I mean, you know, he can break off some long runs, but he's just more physical than he is like big yardage to me.
Oh yeah. I mean, you also
Yeah.
have wow. I mean, you have Doug Martin again at 235. That's crazy.
Mm.
But no, it's. I'm just looking at this in the top 25 for running backs.
Yeah.
It is very hard to be on this list more than once in the top 25 at least. Like,
I'm sure these are career games you're talking
oh
about.
yeah.
These, I mean, this is ridiculous.
I mean, you don't hit an Emmett Smith until 237.
Kind of
At
crisy, you
20,
know.
23,
Like when you think about
high
Evan Smith
23.
and what he did in the game, it's just like how you know he's all the way down there.
Oh yeah, LT didn't get it till top 20. So it's just like
Oh, hey, do you
anybody.
know what's? I mean, I know this is more of an all-purpose thing. Like, if Rico Dowdle one day held a record like this, I wouldn't be surprised. It's
No,
totally
right,
random, you know what I
right.
mean? But he could totally do it.
This does feel like the Rico Dowdle Award, right? Where it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, why not? Like you got No Sean Marino in here. You've got Arian Foster. I mean, fantastic. Le'Veon Bell had one of those games. Tiki Barber's in here. Fred Taylor,
Hmm.
right? So like,
Yeah.
you got guys that it just Cookie Gilchrist. You tell me who that is.
Couldn't say.
Yeah, 1963.
Yeah. Oh,
But right.
right.
So it's
Okay.
like you got guys in here that I'm like, you go over. So you go over to the quarterbacks, with the exception of like the occasional. Obviously, Van Brocklin played in the 50s, so it's a little bit of a pull. But like you got Schaub, but beyond that, it's like Warren Moon, Joe Burrow, Ben Roethlisberger, Boomer, Dan Marino, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Tom Brady, Derek Carr. Like these are like household names. You flip
Yeah.
over to running back, and it's like top. I mean, yeah, you know what? Like top 10 are household names, and then you start to get to like the DeMarco Murray, Doug Martin, Mike Anderson,
Sure.
Spec Sanders, Willie Ellison, Corey
Yeah.
Dillon again, which I love that guy. Cookie
Mhm.
Gilchrist, right? You do start to get into like the this is like a little. It can be a little random here. It can be a
Mhm.
little random. If you hop over to receiving though,
Mhm. And I
I
have a
will
name
give
for this.
you.
I'm
I
pretty
will
sure
give you. I genuinely, we're going Pokemon hunting on Sunday. I will
Right.
buy you your first pack if you can tell me the name
Oh God.
of the
So I'm
guy
gonna
who
get it.
owns.
So then I'm gonna get it wrong because I'll tell you right now.
You were
My
thinking it. I know you were thinking who is number two.
is he number? Okay, so only because I remember this game so well.
I
It
do
was like a
too.
1 point game, and like it was against the Cowboys, right? It was like 2013 or something, 2014.
Yeah, you got the year right too.
Wow.
2013
Oh, 2013. It was like one of the two. I couldn't be sure. I just
against
remember
the
Calvin
Cowboys.
Johnson putting up like 300, like
Can you
almost
tell me the
300.
month that it was in?
No, of course not. It was fall
October.
football. Okay, cool. I was like, it was fall football.
All football's
I,
fall football, man.
I no, we get into winter. But yeah, no, like, okay, so I was thinking Calvin Johnson,
That is number
because,
two.
oh god, he had like 300, like 30 yards or something. I don't remember something crazy.
Yeah, 329.
329. Oh
You
god,
get you get
if this,
329.
if you're gonna give me some guy from like the 80s who beat him by a yard, I'm gonna be pissed.
He beat him by 7 yards.
He beat him by 7 yards. All right, give me the year. I got this. I'll lock in.
Oh wait, 1989.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got this. Okay.
Played
I
for the
don't-
same team that the leader, not the same year, 30 years off, but played for the same team that Norm Van Brocklin did.
Okay, so he was a Ram. Okay.
Not even a Ram, a Los Angeles Ram.
Right. Like, okay, like the recesses of my mind, from random podcasts and clips I've seen of people trying to do games like this, like the Nick Wrights of the world, like, oh, who has these records? I swear, I could not, I'm not gonna get the name, but I feel like I have like a nickname or something like a nickname. Okay,
That's his real name. So
that's okay. I don't know. It's like Flippy or something. I'm not kidding.
Ooh.
Like it's like
do you have a last name? Do you have a last name?
No, I don't know. I just know that. I only remember like this, like
That is so
someone
close.
like a Nick Wright doing like who like go down the list top 10 and see if you can compete for it, and he said like Flippy something. I don't know what it is though.
So close. Flipper Anderson.
Flipper Anderson? Are you? Oh
Flipper
my god!
Anderson.
All right,
man,
all right.
1989.
How about this? You pay for a quarter of my first back. I got pretty close on
We'll
that.
talk. You got close. We'll
That's
talk.
crazy.
Uh,
Flipper Anderson. His name was
Flipper
Flipper.
Anderson, man.
Oh my
Flipper
God. Yeah,
Anderson.
I never would have gotten that.
Once again, though, I will say, you talk about, again, narrative is we are in the age of passing.
Mm-hmm.
I would also argue we are in the age of spreading it out at this point. Like
That's fair. Yeah.
Corners, shutdown corners may be at their height. Like
Yeah.
we may, and not saying that there's one in the league that like is like the Deion Sanders, the I'm going to shut you down, right?
Yeah.
But we're in a world where like there are years that you have like Jalen Ramsey as a shutdown guy, J.C. Jackson back in the day before he decided he couldn't play football anymore, right? Like you have guys that's like, okay, if you find this right, I mean, even right, you had like Trayvon was really good for half a second. You have Bland was good for half a second, right? You have corner is such a finicky position.
When he's healthy, Jair Alexander, yeah.
Right? So but you sit there and now it's like, okay, I would argue that with corner being so strong now, the alpha wide receiver getting up to these numbers is even harder.
Yeah. I mean, the most recent closest thing I think I remember is when Jamar Chase set the record for like 250 as a rookie. He had like 250 or something.
I will say, yeah.
That's the most recent thing I remember.
So I was gonna ask you. I was gonna go through top 6, point out something, and then also ask you who has in the top 25. There are only 2 current players.
In the top 25, wow. So Jamar Chase has to be one of them at 250.
2 current players. Jamar Chase has 2 positions in it at 266 and 264.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sandwiched in between him is Amari Cooper, man.
Amari Cooper's in there? What the heck?
Amari Cooper, when he played with Cleveland, is
okay.
crazy. You have Josh Gordon in Cleveland as well, down at 20.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I do like that. I just got his jersey today, believe it or not. I almost wore it for this. Miles Austin is down at 33. It was on eBay for like $10.
Nice.
It was my size. And then DeAndre Hopkins and Jerry Jeudy are current players in the top 50. Hopkins with Houston, and then Jerry Jeudy with Cleveland against that game against the Broncos that Jameis Winston had all those passing yards. But the other and most yards by an active player happened in 2020.
Right.
Do you know what player?
I mean, I want to say Justin Jefferson, because it's like I wanted to have it. 269. 20 was it like in 2020? So it had to happen right before COVID and everything, and was it like
it was November of 2020. So this is during
it was COVID year. Oh God, I have no idea. Who?
At number 14, 269, Kansas City Chief in a rematch, or was it rematch or about to be game?
So, please say Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Please don't say like
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, gotcha.
Crazy.
Well, he's not a current player. He's not signed anywhere.
Oh, you're so right.
Come on, man. That was a trick question.
Yeah, you're right. Well, here's what I'll say. You got Flipper Anderson number 1, Calvin Johnson number 2. You have only 4 more players, so 3 through 6 that have ever gotten more than 300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you can name one of them, and then the other ones I'll tell you. Do you know?
Honestly, no. I'm like, no one to mind comes like, did Puka have a crazy game one day? They all get close, right? I remember Jamar having his like 260 game or whatever as a rookie.
Well, I say they get close, but Jerry Judy's at 235 down there, and
that's fair.
Like these guys aren't even getting up into the 300 range like by like 70 yards. Julio,
right? I guess close is. Oh, it was Julio.
Julio was at number 6 at 300.
Man, he was
2016. And then you have at 309 at number 3. You have 309. You have Stephon Page in 1989 or 1985. You have Jim Benton with 303 at 1945, and then Cloyce Box in 1950. So what I'll say again, and that was what I was going to kind of say, is once again we're in the age of passing, but we're
not getting there.
Right? It's like 1945, 1950, 1985, 1989, 2013, and 2016. are all in the like, it is a little bit like a okay, wow, uh, it's
I
a
mean, look,
little. I mean, yeah, twice in a decade is nice, but
sure.
that happened in the '80s too.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, like, say what you want about physicality in the game now. Oh, there's Guardian helmets, blah. They're smarter. They're better at covering. Like, defenses are always getting better every year. Coordinators are learning how to scheme it up better. Like, it's a smarter brand of sports,
Yep.
but it's working and it's effective because of it. And
Well,
so,
now the funniest or craziest thing about this. No, we never said Jerry Rice.
fair enough. I
Jerry
didn't. I
Rice.
mean, I didn't think about Jerry
Rice was
Rice.
at number 8. All right, so that's like he did make the
That
top
feels
10,
obvious. Yeah, yeah.
but I'm looking down here, and I believe he's not seen again until 41. I mean, it's kind of wild. His longevity, again, it's the same thing with like Tom Brady. You don't really see him. You see him at 9, so I guess, but like
Mm-hmm.
these guys that have longer careers, with the exception of like Adrian Peterson, but even like
Those are
Emmett,
all-time stat guys. You know what I mean?
right?
They
Like
have.
the all-time stat guys, though, it's like you do not. Emmett Smith has the most yards, rushing yards
Mhm.
all time,
Yeah, yeah.
and you did not see him until what was it, like 25? Yeah, 23. For Emmett Smith in a game, right? So it's like just because this was a long side tangent, but going on to what we kind of talked about with good old Bam, it's like maybe that's where the NBA is kind of going. There are these individual records that we've kind of seen that are like, hey, that's kind of correlated to a great player all time has great
Hmm.
individual games as well. Maybe uh, the NBA is going to kind of, maybe all of a sudden out of nowhere, Mac McClung comes into the league and
Right.
he had a great game in the G League. Not that that really matters, but it's like all of a sudden he has one game where he shoots like 20 for 24 from 3, and everyone's like, "What the heck?" And that's it. Like, and that's the record. And I would not be surprised if we start having some of these random games more in the NBA, only because of also what we see in the NFL, which is just there's better players all around,
Yeah.
and any given night. And maybe you can sit there and go load management, whatever. They're not playing against like full competent teams, whatever.
Sure.
But that's been going on for years, and we haven't seen that. So to me, it's like I just think genuinely we're in an age of better NBA players, and that's just a very long side tangent.
Yeah, it is. And just to close the book on it, it's like no, this is not this isn't even going to happen annually. Annually, yeah, we're going to see some players drop like 50, 60, 70. It happens. I remember like a couple of years ago, it felt like everyone was dropping 70. Luca had 70. Donovan Mitchell had 70. Everyone had 70 points somehow. But it's like it's cool when it happens. I'm not scared. It's not like the record's getting broken like that. It's Bam did it. It's awesome. It's historic, and it can be anybody. It can be Bam Adebayo. Sometimes you just get hot, and it happens. He made like 7 threes. When has Bam ever made ever? You know what I mean? It's not happening again. And so, give him his flowers. But we're right about like there's something about like just longevity and like why these career like guys or like in a season guys like they did it over time successfully the entire year or all of their career. Whereas Rico Dowdle could go get like 400 yards tomorrow for no reason at all, other
Oh
than
yeah.
he just a tank and he did it. So it's cool.
So this is going to segue into free agency and all that talk.
We swear.
We swear. It's going to segue in. Do you think? And this is also going to be a hot button topic, and I
Hmm.
promise you, in 3 years, if someone plays this soundbite against me, stop, get some help, man. Like we're just starting. I don't care. We're having fun, and it's purely a question. But do you think that the age, we kind of alluded to it at wide receiver.
Hmm.
Do you think the age of quote unquote the guy in
Hmm.
the NFL is getting phased out. And the reason why I bring that up and why I say it's going to lead into free agency is because of the massive contracts that some of these guys got that I
Right.
wouldn't necessarily say that they deserved.
Sure.
It's akin to like when Luol Deng and Carlos Boozer and Timothy Mozgov back in the day were getting those massive contracts. That it was like, yeah, they're good, but like, why are they getting this much money? And the answer is because the market,
The
kind of
market
falls.
dictates price. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and so as I look at these records, it's like, okay, don't get me wrong, Justin Jefferson, phenomenal. Jamar
Of
Chase,
course.
phenomenal.
Of course.
Bijan Robinson, phenomenal. Jameer Gibbs, phenomenal. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, great. You can
Jordan
list,
Love. Yeah.
okay. You can list out like maybe
Romeo
Matthew
Dobbs.
Stafford, right? But like you list out these guys,
Mm-hmm.
and as I look at this list, now granted, right, the quarterback one's a little bit odd because like you got Matt Schaub up there, so maybe like strip out the quarterback on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels like to me, at running back and wide receiver, the most elite guys can still be stopped. I don't know if that's the right word for it.
I mean, you still have like the guy, right? And what it is, it's not because like their stats are impressive necessarily every week. We've seen all of these. Any star player can put up an absolute stinker any day, but it's because of what we've seen of them consistently. Like they're the guy. Justin Jefferson can go 4 games without a single yard, and he's still Justin Jefferson. And now contracts are value in market, and all it's going to do is going to either overcorrect and go a little backwards. I don't think it will. Every year the NFL gets more lucrative, more money, more players should get money, right? It's like they're your product, pay them well. But you're going to see the top guys just get even more when it's time for their contract. It's who's up and it's who's ready and it's what the market dictates. It happened with Jordan Love. As soon as Jordan Love was ready to get a contract, could you say he was the best quarterback in the league at the time? No. He had then the highest contract annually. Or like guarantees, whatever it was. He had it because it was his time. And that's never going to stop. And give your athletes money and it's going to be set every time, right? But yeah, I mean, defenses are better and they can scheme up to stop a guy. And it's like, you can only do so much. You're at the end of the BAM game, you're getting triple, double teamed. Of course, you're not making actual baskets. You're making free throws because you're fouled every time. Justin Jefferson, you could double, triple team him the entire game. He won't get a single yard, but you're sacrificing the rest of the field. So it's a choice by defenses on what they do.
Well, and I will say, I think I'm talking a little bit out of my derriere a little bit as I look at it, just because, and I'll overcorrect myself here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, like looking at these stats, may make me feel a little bit better about, and maybe like so. First of all, it tells me right now that Justin Jefferson, that Jamar Chase is
Mm-hmm.
of a different level, right? Because as I'm
Of
looking
course.
at this like top 25,
Yeah.
and I've always been personal preference. I prefer Justin Jefferson. I actually think I think he's just very technical, very very like brilliant. Does well
Sure.
with mediocre quarterback play. But from a top 25 level, you do not see a lot of guys repeat. And the fact that Jamar Chase has done it twice already,
Yeah.
is kind of crazy.
I
Same
mean,
thing.
how's it Joe Burrow? It's like it's a match thing. It just
Oh yeah.
chuck the ball to him 14 times a game, 15 times a game.
Well, and the same thing though. Then I jump over and I go, okay. I talk about it's not. Are we in the age of no more like dominant running backs? But I'll look at it. Jonathan Taylor's there twice in the top 20.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's at number 10, so we don't have close thing to a top. He's in the top 10 once,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have him at in 2025 at number 19, right? So it's like
Right.
ultimately, it. As much as it's like, oh, I think about like Bijan, right? And but
Mm-hmm.
he's more all-purpose yards anyway. So
Yeah.
maybe the game's just changing a little bit, but I don't know. Do you think? And yeah, we'll finally close this. Which record do you think is going to be easiest broken anytime soon?
Easiest broken anytime soon could be their passing. The one that
Oh,
might get broken first though is receiving. I could see one of these guys just like, they have a monster game. And I don't want to hear that it was against the worst defense in the league. They did it. Go stop
yeah,
them. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, when you look at the Patriots and they have the easiest schedule in the league, of course they're getting to the Super Bowl. They still made it.
yeah.
It's what it is. So,
That's yeah. I would probably say just by pure numbers, it's probably passing.
yeah.
At any given time. But once again, yeah, that you just got to break a couple of runs, Rico, and then we'll get there.
Yeah, hey, that'd
Speaking,
be awesome.
yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Rico.
Speaking of Rico, so where do you want to start here? You want to start with some quarterbacks, or you want to start with running backs? We got a lot to talk about. Including, I mean, unless you want to talk about the trade that doesn't exist.
I think that should be first. It's the biggest one.
Yeah.
It is. So Trey Hendrick, or let's not even start at Trey Hendrickson. Let's start at Crosby. You get traded for 2 firsts, and the league office isn't open yet. Nothing is official. You go in, you fail your physical, and the Ravens are like, never mind. The
Which
Ravens
is allowed,
of course,
right?
sure,
You're allowed to back out. I mean,
totally.
so
It
not to
wasn't.
hop-
It's not like say what you were
look,
saying.
not to interrupt, but like, we saw this happen with the Lakers last year,
Sure.
in
Yeah.
basketball with Jared
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, and it was one of those things of like, right? It was Jared Vanderbilt. Am I
No, it
missing
wasn't Jared.
No.
He might have been. No, it
Um,
was like they were trading Dalton Connect to the Hornets
for Mark
with some
Williams?
other stuff for Mark Williams. Yeah,
Yes, that's who it was.
because they needed
And
center, and they still do.
Yep. Well, and the thing was the issue. So silver lining on any of this, I don't know if that's it, but at least it's not. We're not talking about like a trade deadline, right?
Sure,
Because the
sure.
issue with that one is that it got reversed after the trade deadline because he failed his physical, and so now
Mm-hmm.
the Lakers, as much as I don't like him, where they were kind of screwed, where they're like, hey, we don't have a center and we have no way to correct it now. Like
Yeah.
we can go and go in the buyout. So it's not the same. So it's
Of
one
course
of those
not.
things of like at least we're talking about something where I want to hear the rest of your point, but there's a funny tampering Tom Brady
Not.
conspiracy theory that I've seen going around.
It's not even it's not Tom Brady for me. It is did the Raven, because there were talks about the Ravens getting Trey Hendrickson before the trade got rescinded. And so it's like, were they trying to get both of them? I
It
think
did
so.
happen pretty fast.
And it's not like that deal just like came up out of nowhere. They were talking to him. And so did they know, hey, we're going to get the younger guy, we're going to keep our picks, and yeah, he's going to sign a big contract, but like he's healthy, he's here, and we get that elite pass rusher. Now Max Crosby is a better overall player, and that's obvious. But hey, they're still getting a star elite pass rusher, and they're keeping their picks. The biggest implication, obviously, is I'm very curious to see the free agency implication. Raiders were signing everybody. I mean, record contracts to everybody. You stole Quay Walker from us. I'm pissed. Matt, we couldn't have paid him that. It's like, now you have Max Crosby back on your books. Now, I do think he's going to get off their books. I think someone's going to get him. Someone's going to trade for him. We'll see what the package is. Because I feel like they have to. Because they said, hey, we can't have this big contract anymore. We're signing these guys. We're going to get Mendoza. We're starting from scratch, but we're going to have some really great players. And we're going to build this. It's going to be real. And you could see that was happening for them. And I was really excited for them. So I think he still gets off the books. But I do think the Ravens kind of knew, and they lost a lot of players. The Ravens, out of all people, they lost a lot. So it's like, actually, maybe we should keep our first, and we get our star pass rusher.
So I do think it ends up being. I think it's. You ever like make a deal in fantasy football where you think you're getting the better end, and like you pulled one over someone, and they
Sure.
also like you go and talk to the other person from like a third party point of view, and they also think they pulled one over on the other guy, and they're like, dude, I can't believe I got this.
Yeah.
I think of like the Terry McLaurin trade with Jameson Williams type of thing, where like Freddie was like, I can't believe I got Terry McLaurin, and I was like, bro, I can't believe I got a first. It's like that's great.
I know. I'm
And
aware.
but like that kind of thing, right? Where it's like it very much is this kind of like both sides are saying like, ha ha ha, look at me, I got it, like I got the winning deal.
Look, I gave you the ammo for that trade, so let's not discuss it anymore.
But you see like that to me feels like this trade. So first of all, I'm gonna poke holes in the conspiracy theory that the Ravens orchestrated this. Okay,
I don't think they did it
or not
intentionally.
orchestrated.
I just think they were operating with knowledge.
I do like your thought that like maybe they wanted their first just in case, right? Because of how many players they lost. However,
Yeah.
knowing the Ravens and knowing how they are culturally and knowing how they are as an organization and knowing what that division looks like, you can't tell me that they wouldn't want both Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, I think that's what they wanted. Yeah, for sure. I
Right?
think, though, it's just like you're trading for a guy who was on crutches like a month ago or something.
Right. So, but
You
to
know
me,
what you're
it's
doing.
like, and who are we to say that I mean, you never know. The deal might come back, right? It's like it might
It
be
totally
like,
could, yeah.
right? You'd be like, hey, we made it for one first and a second now, and he's going back to the Ravens, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's one of those things of like knowing the Ravens, if that's a healthy physical, they're saying screw it. We're getting
They
both
keep 'em.
guys, and
I
we're gonna
totally
have the
agree.
most lethal pass rush ever. On the other end, so I'll tell you my conspiracy theory, but I will say on the other end, it feels to me before I like say my little like Tom Brady ha 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 hoo hoo hoo. It pains me to say this, but with all the trades that they've been making and all the cap room they've been clearing up, it feels like the Eagles are gonna get him. Like,
I really hope not, man. That would be awful. You know what, though? Anyone but the Bears.
can you see the writing
Anyone
on the
but the
wall?
Bears.
Like, it hurts, but I can like just see it.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's possible. I think, like, no, I agree with you. I think if he passes that physical, the Ravens 100% keep him. I don't think that's a question. I think that's what they wanted to do. And it's why you see, players getting traded for picks that were probably going to be cut. You're guaranteed to get the guy if you can just give up a little. You're not guaranteed Trey Hendrickson. He's a free agent. He can get the most amount of money from any team that clears the cap space for him, and he might not sign with you. But if you trade for Max Crosby, yes, he's going to want more, he has a great deal, but he'll want another contract soon, and you're going to have to figure out how to pay him. Same with Packers and Micah. You have to do that when you trade for the guy. But you're guaranteed him because you traded for him, and he's yours now. So it's like they didn't know they were going to get Trey Hendrickson. It is not until I feel like they felt that was almost official that they felt, oh, do you know what, Max Crosby, that's too expensive for us. And so, anyway, what's your Tom Brady thing? I'm curious about it.
So the conspiracy theory that I've heard float around, and I can't remember who I heard it from first, was this essentially the Raiders in the most like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick way possible. The Raiders knew that Max was gonna like whatever trade they did. He was not passing his physical yet. It was
Right.
going to bounce.
Okay.
So they decided, okay, who is our biggest? Sure, the Ravens offered the biggest deal, but what are the Ravens like? When are we going to do this? Well, the Ravens also have a guy we really want, which is a center.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is trade them a large contract, knowing that this is going to bounce. Do it right before free agency opens, and then sign their center away for an exorbitant amount of money that they can't match now because they have our guy on their books.
Right. That's crazy.
As soon as that deal is signed, then the physical is going to go through. It's going to bounce, and we're just going to end up with our guy. And we have enough cap room that it's like we've signed a guy that you can't match. Like at this point, he's already locked and loaded with us, and we got our guy back. We basically just put you in a holding period for 2 days. And while that sounds evil, it's Tom Brady, man. Like I'm not 100% like I heard it and I was like, oh.
Look, it sounds like something that he could easily scheme up because he is that smart and savvy. Like I
know.
If you told me in like a year or two that, hey, by the way, this was completely set up from the beginning. Will there be a bunch of repercussions and consequences? 1,000%. That is beyond tampering. That is crazy illegal. I mean, I feel like first off, this free agency. Am I crazy? I feel like we were just getting so much pre-agency news. It just we
Oh,
knew what was happening. I was like, what is going on here?
it I
Everybody.
I literally like the boss at the bar that I work at. We talk football all the time, and I open Wednesdays with him, so we
Uh huh.
just talk. No one comes in for the first like 2 hours, so we just talk
Of course.
sports all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he like went to a movie
Mm-hmm.
when everything kind of started going out, and he came back and he goes, "What the heck did I miss? What is
What?
going on?"
I feel like it's never been like this. I feel like I don't know. It felt like almost like an NBA trade deadline with the Luka. Like I was one after another, after another, after another.
Well,
It's like
it felt like
what is
NBA free
happening?
agency. NBA free agency's always
Say
kind of had
yeah.
it,
It's
right?
always yeah. It's like it was crazy. Although back to the Tom Brady scandal, that totally could be the thing. Now
Oh yeah.
the problem the Raiders face is cap space and how to get him off your contract. Because I think with him they're over. Like they can't have all
I
those
think they're
guys.
like barely under. I thought.
No
Um,
way. I mean, if that's true, genius. There's no way they signed all of those guys. I mean, they got everybody.
with Max Crosby, uh, let's look at this right here. Um, amid yeah, he has the 35 million cap.
Right.
Without counting, that's actually hilarious. Without counting him, they still have more than $86 million in cap space remaining.
I mean,
But
hey,
thinking
he's only
about he has 50 million. They have 50 million left. But
wow.
after their picks,
Uh
because
huh.
like their picks do take some precedence in there.
Of course.
I believe they. No, it's still saying that they have.
I mean, I guess we'll find out because if they're able to retain him now, more than
Oh,
that
they're
though,
still they still have $37 million in cap.
Jesus. Well, look, at the end of the day, I think the relationship is a little tainted now.
Sure.
There was the 15-minute goodbye video. I'm not saying Max Crosby wouldn't be a Raider. I just think that like it's awkward. It's weird, man. It's just a little weird. And
I will say
because
of all the stars, I think he can like bolster through it though. Like he
I think
loves the
so.
Raiders so much.
Totally. I agree completely. I think that he could do it. I just feel like for the league's sake, like even the league might go, "Hey, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, get him off your team because that was crazy." He's got to be somewhere. Like they can't do that legally, but it's like I feel like they are going to heavily encourage the Raiders to go into your young but slightly competitive and fun era. You get Mendoza and you look. All of this was to say, like, I was like, oh, how can they please not be able to sign Quay Walker? Can we have him back, please, 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 please? But God, that was a bad. I really how we should. Quay Walker, man, I'm gonna miss him so much. I know he had some problems and some injuries, but he was one of the best parts of our defense. I just cannot sing his praises more. I thought he was truly great. But
The
it's like
defense is losing a lot of pieces, man.
no, we're fine. I mean, we lost Quay Walker, but we signed oh god, what's his name from the Colts? He from the tackle, the defensive tackle. He looks great. Take Rashawn Gary. I'll take our what we get like a fourth. Take Rashawn Gary.
Yeah. By the
We
way,
were gonna we were gonna cut him anyway.
yep.
We were gonna cut him.
Speaking of trades and take the fourth. I will say this, so twofold, and then we'll get to the next kind of trade free agents, unless you have another thing on that on the Max Crosby stuff.
Nope. A little awkward, a little weird, crazy. Feels illegal. Congratulations, Trey Hendrickson. That saved the Ravens fan base at least. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
they went from devastated because we have a Wyatt who's a fan of the Ravens. He was like, "What is happening?" and
Yep.
devastated. They got to be happy now. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
I
100%.
mean they've lost a lot of players. Don't get me wrong, to John Harbaugh specifically, but it's like, um, hey, you got your star pass rusher. Kind of puts a bandit over the wound. You know.
It puts a band-aid there. I will say one of the one of the funniest things now is that it has taught me that in fantasy, I can now, especially in like our dynasty league, I can trade. So thought process is if there's someone that like is really really like competitive with me, what I'll do is I'll tie up some of their picks. I'll trade them a player for like their top draft picks, and then I'm going to use my draft picks to trade for another player. Push that trade in through first, and then pull out of my other trade. So that way they can't use their draft picks in the trade that like I would be competing with them. It's genius. Thank you, Tom Brady, for inspiring me to be a better fantasy football player.
This league is cooked. This league is cooked. It's over. It's over, dude.
You know, as soon as I get 2 trades cooking at one time, you're gonna just say you gotta kibosh both. You're done.
It's over.
Speaking of trades, weird one that happened. I don't know if you saw what the actual trade was. Do you know what Michael Pittman was traded for? Because no one is talking about what it actually was traded for.
Was it not like a 4th or a 5th round pick? And then he got his money? He got a contract?
The Colts traded a 7th round pick in Michael Pittman for a 6th round pick.
Oh, that's crazy. Look, I know you just signed Alex Pierce, okay? I know you have to probably like figure out what to do with Pittman anyway. You couldn't get better than a 6th round pick. I know he had some bad.
He's not that bad. Like
he's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like there had to have been a massive locker room issue. I don't know, man. Like there has to be something.
I don't know. Hey, look, and congratulations to Alex Pierce, because what the hell? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, Alec Pierce getting that deal is just insane. Here's what I'll say. I said this earlier as I was talking to one of my friends. Alec Pierce is like a better version. I feel like he can be the version of like Gabe Davis that works out.
Sure, yeah.
Or like a Jameson Williams type. Like that's where I kind of see is like a version of him. And this is where I put the caveat, on any other team. Like on the Patriots, a version of that, I'm saying like, oh, you know, he might get 1,200 yards. Like he might get 1,300 yards. He might be worth that money.
Sure.
The issue is, the Colts only use him as the Gabe Davis type. So unless they're changing the entire scheme and saying, hey, we're not just going to throw you like 3 deep balls a game and you're going to have 3 targets and hopefully you catch one, it's an 80-yard touchdown. If they can actually scheme him on some curl routes, some drag routes, you know, actually like throw him out there and then throw the deep ball, that'd be brilliant. But I don't know if I trust them with their new $88 million man.
No. Do you know who I benefit?
Crazy contract, but
crazy contract. Do you know who I, honest to God, think benefits the most? And I'm not just saying this because it's coming from a biased position.
Josh Downs.
It's Josh Downs. It's Josh Downs, because now you're gonna have the perception of like, I mean, he already was like not necessarily. He's not always seen as the best receiver on that team anyway. You know, they probably put Pittman, and now, you know, Pierce is breaking out. But now with that contract, people are gonna be like, okay, this is the guy to stop, and this is how they use him. And who is the guy that's the most versatile in that room, who can run the route tree, who's, you know, great after catch and is great hand? Josh Downs. He's frankly better than Alec Pierce, man, as an overall receiver. And so I just think he benefits. I think he's going to see a really solid season once they figure out quarterback play.
It does feel like if Christian Watson wasn't crazy hurt all the time, it feels like it's like as if the Packers, when they had, you know, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson, and they sit there and they go, hey, we're going to throw Christian Watson a ton of money, right? And you're like, I mean, you can, but I feel like he would be better served off, you know, on the Texans or on a team that would kind of like utilize him, that's not in this just like, hey, we're going to throw you the ball 3 times a game type of vibe.
Right.
Rather than, and then dump off to, because Josh Downs is that guy. Josh Downs is like the quick shot, hey, let's get him out on a slant and let him do the run after catch thing. And that's great. But when you're not giving targets to a guy that you just paid so much money. And I love Alec Pierce, dude. I genuinely think
he's great. And good for him. Get your money, man. Like, congratulations.
People are freaking out about this contract. I think he's actually really, really good. But I do think he needs to be Like, he needs to be better utilized either on the Colts or just like it's gonna look bad, man.
And it's going to be a big question on quarterback and who's starting in that room and when is Daniel Jones back and all that. You know, that's
Best
like huge.
best agent ever, by the way. So
I
literally
know.
right before this, so 2 years, $88 million. 2 years,
Yeah.
$88 million with incentives that can get it up to $100 million.
How does he do it? How does he
For,
keep doing it?
well, for a guy that look, Kyler Murray hasn't signed yet.
No, but I think he's a Minnesota Viking.
I would love that.
I
But
think
Kyler
that's what he
Murray
does,
hasn't
yeah.
signed yet, and he's probably going to sign for real cheap because he already has that massive cap hit. Tua
Yeah.
signed for real cheap,
Yeah.
right? You look at that. So coming off injury, Daniel Jones getting that, dude,
It's so
I don't
funny because
get it.
like we're talking about the Colts and when they first get Daniel Jones and how they were just on a tear the first like 6-7 weeks of the season. It's like, oh my god, wow, look at the Colts. They're like building everything. That's so cool. And now they've traded away a bunch of first round picks and they're signing injured guys and look. Just because you're the next guy up doesn't mean you get the money. It's like Alec Pierce. Yeah, you need a contract. It doesn't mean you get the money. You know, it's like now we're just in the position where we're looking at the Colts like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? You were
So
in such a better place.
here's what I ask you: Patriot, no, not even. Rams beat the Seahawks in the NFC Championship.
Right.
Does Daniel Jones make this money? Because reason why I ask you,
Uh huh.
I almost argue that the Colts are trying to not be the Minnesota Vikings.
That no, that's fair. I think you're on to something there, and it's a thing where it's like teams realize and recognize, especially with just the amount of busts I feel like I've seen, especially recently, like in quarterback drafts. It's just you cannot be fragile at that position. You need someone who can run your offense. And we look at players like Sam Darnold, and I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is like this, but let's throw him in there. If you build the right team around these people, they will operate that offense exactly how you want, and they're scoring points and they're winning games.
Oh yeah.
If Daniel Jones does that for the Colts, hey, they're winning. They're winning games. They're scoring points. That's what you want to do in the NFL. And so they're petrified of being in quarterback purgatory, like the Jets, who just got Geno Smith back,
Right?
or the
Yeah.
Vikings. It's like, oh my gosh, we can't do that. So they're like cuckolded into signing these mid tier guys that they know are good quarterbacks and at least top 32 in the world, obviously, because they're on an NFL roster and they're starting. They are just so petrified to be in any other position. They'd rather have a middle of the road quarterback for a good amount of money, but it's quarterback money, than be in like the crapper. And that's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Well, and so that's where I sit there. I feel like with the success that he had early on, now granted, right? Then it started to falter, and then he gets hurt, right? But with the success that he had early on, it's hard not to look at it and go, "Oh my gosh, maybe he's the next Sam Darnold on the Vikings." Or maybe we look at it and go, Darnold fell apart at the end of the Viking season. It wasn't that good. Okay, they moved on from him. Whatever. And then he goes and wins the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And so it's like, oh, hey, Colts do the same exact thing. They say, Daniel Jones kind of fell apart, whatever. And then Daniel Jones goes to the team that he was on right before, which is the Vikings, and goes and wins a Super Bowl with them. We're talking about the Colts in the same exact way. So, like, I feel like it is them trying to protect their rumps a little bit.
100%.
But I feel like it's living a step behind a little bit, in my opinion.
I totally agree. It's like, frankly, look at what the smart organizations do with their star. You gotta be like the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill. It was over. They had to move on, so they got a haul for him in return. Instead of paying him a bunch of money, they weren't afraid of losing their star receiver. They got everything they could, and they still won Super Bowls.
Yep.
The Packers with quarterbacks consistently, as frustrated as I can be that we drafted Jordan Love, we drafted a guy to sit and we let Aaron Rodgers go. If you had said that to anybody in 2015, hey, by the way, in like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, you're going to draft a quarterback who's going to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, and then you're going to let him go. You would have been like, what are the Packers thinking? Smart organizations aren't afraid to watch their other players succeed elsewhere because they are focused on themselves. And that mid-tier organizations, like maybe the Colts, maybe the Vikings now, it's like, oh my gosh, crap, we can't keep making this mistake. Let's just tread water, keep our head above. You gotta sometimes you just gotta be able to be like, hey, the star player is gone. We're still an organization. We have to figure out what we need him to do. And so,
yeah,
I don't know what else their quarterback answer is though. So I guess it's Daniel Jones.
I think to me it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they still sign a guy. Not saying it's like it should be like Kirk Cousins or somebody, but like if they sign, name any backup quarterback, or even if they do throw like a little 1-year feeler out to Kyler and say like, okay, let's see. Like even though I think he's probably going to the Vikings, it's like they throw a little feeler out to him and he takes it.
Yeah.
What might end up happening is the Pittsburgh Steelers with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields 2.0, which is like, hey, neither of these are really working, but we're gonna try it regardless, and maybe we'll catch lightning in a bottle and still make playoffs, which the Steelers did. And so, it feels like, yeah, I don't love the deal. Good on Daniel Jones for being the next Kirk Cousins, man. Like he can make so much money.
Good for him.
Good for him. Speaking of quarterbacks making money, again, a quarterback that I'm like, oh, hey, if you could have gotten him at this money, then why did you just pay Daniel Jones this? Malik Willis, man.
Malik Willis. I mean, he was the darling of the free agency class.
Oh, yeah. And he didn't sign for all that much, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't too crazy. It ended up being about 22 and a half.
Yeah, 3 years, like 60-something million, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, wait, so that's not crazy for a quarterback. Now, granted, everyone's going to be like, oh, is he that good? He hasn't had a lot of starts. That's totally fine. I get it. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in a guy, also for quarterback money, we're seeing a lot of
cheap.
money get thrown right now. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Give the risk, especially I will say the Dolphins don't have a bad roster. They're not completely screwed.
I don't, not offensively. I think they have they have one good wide receiver in Jalen Waddle at least, and then they have Devon Achane, and then they have complementary pieces around them. It's like that's good enough to start, and you're not in a position to draft a quarterback this year. And I don't know if there's an out in his contract, but let's say you draft a guy in 27. It's not like, oh my God, we just threw all this money at Malik Willis. Crap. It's like, okay, now Malik Willis didn't work out. Now we go with the rookie. I don't think they have Will Howard, right? Ohio State, is it Will Howard?
No, it's Quinn Ewers.
Sorry, Quinn Ewers. I'm thinking of the other. He used to be Ohio State. Quinn Ewers. I look, not a Quinn Ewers fan. Never really have been. Some people were like, why didn't you give Quinn Ewers a shot? You're giving them both.
They gave
him
like 2 games, man. That's as much as you need.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're not in a position to get a quarterback. You might be able to compete with that. You have chemistry with Jeff Hafley. And he balled out, frankly, when he played for the Packers, and it's why I was like, damn, it really sucks he's got to go, but I know we can't keep him. He did really well, and he can really develop into something special. It's just, I'm not saying it's Baker Mayfield, but when you fall off a good coaching tree and you sit and you learn and you're a quarterback, we watch it happen. It's successful. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff at the Lions. Like, I mean, that was a little different because it was a trade, but it's like you see quarterbacks, try, like, I think he was a Titan. They tried him a little bit, wasn't working out. Gave him the Packers for nothing, and now we get a 3rd round compensatory pick for that. Thank you. And now it feels like, hey, maybe he's actually learning and it's working out, and he's not a journeyman anymore. He's not one of the stars, but he's someone who's athletic enough to, like, hey, he could win some games. Let's take a shot. Let's build.
Oh yeah. So I agree with you, and also I will never forgive Quinn Ewers for blowing the Ohio State game.
Yeah,
it was nasty, just absolutely nasty. So in other quarterback news, right? You did mention Geno goes to the Jets. So hear me out. It's a dumb move. It's a dumb move. And you should never judge a book by its cover, because if you judge Geno Smith's career by its cover, it'd look terrible, because it's bookended by the Jets on both sides. But here's what I'll say.
Go ahead.
The Jets are in desperate need of a guy that can just showcase what they actually have on their roster. And I think Gino, like the shadow that is Gino right now, is that at least. Like
Okay.
it'd be the equivalent, and he would not be going back there because, like, I mean, I'm surprised Gino went back there, but it'd be the equivalent of signing Joe Flacco.
Wasn't it a trade, right? He didn't sign, it was a trade. I
Or,
thought that they traded like a seventh or something for him.
I thought they. Oh, I guess they gave him like a seventh round pick.
Yeah, something small, but it was technically a trade.
But yes, but that kind of thing, right? Where it's like it'd be the equivalent of signing Joe Flacco right now. Where I'm just like,
Right.
okay, sure. And Gino, to be fair, he's coming off of one bad year. He was he wasn't awful the year before. He was fine in Seattle. But
fine.
whenever they traded him, everyone was like, "Oh man, like Seattle's making a mistake. They're moving on, whatever." And before that, he was doing really well. So with Seattle. So what I'll say is, if he turns out to be serviceable, that's great. What you're trying to do is you're trying to give yourself a captain that can tell you what you actually have on your team,
Right.
before you prep up for an actual dog of a draft next year that's going to be
Of course.
phenomenal, that you're going to get your quarterback of the future in.
Definitely.
And so, and you're not sitting there, I will say, kudos to them, you're not sitting there throwing money at, because what if, we just talked about Malik Willis, but what if Malik Willis isn't the answer? What if he turns out to be worse than Justin Fields? Well, then you're not throwing money out at the next Justin Fields.
Right.
And also committing yourself to, like, okay, well, maybe he can work next year. They do still have Justin Fields on the roster.
Yep.
If Gino can sit there and be serviceable, you might be able to throw Justin Fields out there, see if he has mentored him at all.
Sure.
I feel like it's a very low cost move for a team that is basically treading water for a year already, and I feel good. I feel bad for Aaron Glenn though, because I do believe that this is the death knell. This is the nail in his coffin. This is the one that's going to get him out of the head coaching job, because there's just you're not going to win a lot of games with Gino as your quarterback this day and age.
Yeah, I think the Jets' best case scenario is they look at the Raiders and they go, "That's what we obviously need to do." They're like, "Hey, the Raiders, everyone see how everyone's excited and they got all these free agents and they're getting their quarter. That's what we need to do." And so I think that's kind of what they're going for, not necessarily like specifically with Gino, but it's, let's say Arch Manning is the top quarterback of the class next year. Where have we seen a Manning tell a team in the draft that he's not going there before? They can't have that happen. I'm not saying it's going to be Arch Manning at the top of the class next year, but they can, if it is Arch Manning, they cannot have that. I mean, any quarterback could do that. But as the Jets, especially with your recent history in quarterbacks, and now watching one of your former quarterbacks win a Super Bowl, what quarterback in the draft is ever going to want to be like, yeah, I'm going to be a Jet and I'm going to save that franchise? I don't know. Like, yeah, if you do it, wow, look at what you did with the Jets. Congratulations. And if you don't, you're another failed Jet quarterback. I think I'd rather be in a different position and have a solid career than the savior of the Jets.
I mean,
So
to
they
be
need
fair,
to show.
that's why everyone went back to college this year, is to avoid the Jets, right?
I know. And so it's like, you have to look at, the Jets have to say to one of these quarterbacks, hey, we're going to draft you. And when we say you are actually going to bring Jets football back and we're going to compete, it's because you genuinely see the talent. Maybe they do get to sign Breece Hall, and he gets to stay, and they have their number one running back, and they do get the Garrett Wilson, and they keep drafting and developing. They need to be the Raiders of last year, or of this year. You know what I mean? That's their goal. Go do it. It's not impossible to build a franchise back. It's just laughable at this point, you and the Browns. And we're not going to stop laughing until you genuinely fix it. So,
yeah. So on another quarterback, which, by the way, so we are now entering the age. Now, we're still seeing guys that are out there. Again, Kyler, Kirk Cousins, right?
Right. Well, Kirk, is Kirk really out there? I mean, come on. He's Joe Flacco this year. I guess he's Pro Bowler.
I mean, well, they cut him for a reason. They did say, like, we're cutting you so you can go get a starting job.
I don't think he's going to start, but he could be Joe Flacco.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But it's one of those that, like, you see these guys that are still out there. Jacoby Brissett is still a Cardinal. He did sign an extension with them.
Gardner Minshew also went to the Cardinals, right?
Gardner Minshew went to the
Yeah,
Cardinals.
that's kind of their plan this year. I feel like.
And genuinely, I will say, Brissett did not look bad. Contrary to how the flotilla kept judging him. Uh, yeah, contrary to how that went down, I think Brissett could get them some wins over there. The question that I'll ask you that'll lead into this next one: who is a 2027 starter? 2027. One of these three guys: Jacoby Brissett,
Right.
Michael Penix Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
or Tua. Because Tua is now everyone's favorite 2026 starter. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
as soon as Tua gets off the Dolphins, everybody's talking about, oh man, he can turn the Falcons around, man. He has the right coach, he has the right staff. What are your thoughts? Who's a starter in 2027? Any of those guys?
The only one I could see doing that is gonna be Tua, and that's just because if I'm the Cardinal, you said it was sorry, Brissett, Tua,
Brissett, Tua, and Penix, meaning
and
Tua
Penix,
and
right?
Penix.
So I think Tua is going to just look. It was weird that they picked Penix and they wasted the pick, and he was old and injured, and he looked really cool and exciting. He got to a national championship game. Congratulations, Michael Penix. Your career is not an NFL starting quarterback. I never believed in you. I don't think you're good enough. I think Tua is significantly better than Michael Penix Jr. And so Tua is going to do that, and then the Falcons, I think, will say this is now our answer. We messed up with Penix. That was a high draft pick. Now we're building around Tua. I know what the past says. The past also has good things for Tua. Tua has performed well. And I think he can be a starting caliber quarterback in the right position. And frankly, he was. Like, let's just make it real. The Dolphins, the relationship was just bad. They needed to separate and move on. It wasn't like, Tua, you suck. We got to move off you. It's like, hey, this relationship is soured now, and it's time to move on. If the Cardinals are smart, they lose enough games to get one of the top quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett isn't the answer. I'm glad you like him. I'm glad he looks cool. I'm glad he looks good. But again, it's like the Colts with if you have one of these now, Daniel Jones is better than Brissett. Maybe actually, I don't know. It's like don't be afraid to go get the young guy that could be a star. I know it's tough, but like these middle of the road guys, they're not putting you over the hump. And if I'm the Cardinals, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. I have Trey McBride. I have Michael Wilson. They're figuring out the running back room a little bit, but
got Algier in there now.
I mean, they got Algier. Like, it's not. Get one of these 27 quarterbacks. Do not be convinced and lulled into Jacoby Brissett won you 8 games this year. Don't be like, oh, buddy, 8-9. We can do something with that. It's never gonna get better than that. He's not making the difference. So.
I mean, he's a perfect bridge quarterback. I will say, like he is the guy that I would want in my locker room to mentor, right?
Exactly.
Marcus Mariota.
And then you retain him to be the backup.
Correct.
And he shows leadership, and great. He's Tyrod Taylor. And so the reason it's Tua is because Tua is the only one of those three that, frankly, is an NFL starting caliber quarterback that can lead a team to playoff games.
So you mentioned this. You mentioned this last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you kind of manifested it. Tua went to the perfect opportunity, like literally the perfect place for him. Because where is he now? He's in the South, dude. He was in the South with Miami.
Yeah,
but
he's left-handed too.
Yeah, but now
used to it.
Like, yeah, but he's in the South. He's also in the South, where the entire division is truly in the South.
Yeah,
like, and that entire division now, he's playing in warm weather year round, dude.
Year round or domes, and it's like with Tua, you are in that division, and that division is one of those divisions that's kind of up for grabs any given year. The AFC North or AFC East, Bills Patriots, that's really like you're competing with a lot there, and no shade on the Bucks, the Panthers, or the Saints, but we're not going to be shocked if the Falcons win the division next year. It's totally possible with Tua. And so, yeah, I think he ended up in the perfect position.
Oh, yeah. And look, like, I think he can come back. I don't know if he's a long-term answer, but, it's something that it's a little promising where it feels like, the Vikings are a step behind still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, dude, if the Falcons are sitting there and saying, "Hey, dude, like this quarterback, Michael Penix, might not be the guy."
Yeah.
Like, if they're willing to say that right now and say, "Let's move forward, let's move ahead," good on them, man. Good on them. I have a
I mean,
couple. Oh, go for it.
well, just real quick, it gives the Vikings permission. Go get Kyler. It's
Yeah,
okay. Go like you messed up. Go get Kyler.
exactly.
Just do it. You're not going to find that opportunity again. He is a first overall pick that has looked solid in moments in his career. I get the drama, I get the bad, but I also get the good. And unless you really like, that's why, especially with the Falcons, you have so much talent. Are you going to be in a position? I know the quarterback class is deep, but also I think you might have to trade. It might be that Penix, McCarthy draft again. You might have to trade up to go get your guy because it's so deep. People are going to want them, and
Oh
unless
yeah.
you're in one of those positions to get them automatically, don't be left out of the cycle.
So I wanna hop on just a couple more players because I know we
Let's
are
do it.
we're running it to like about an hour and a half now.
Yeah, that's fair.
So there's one player I want to hit like head on, and then I just want to kind of rapid fire some like basically quick like 2 sentence thoughts from you. But there's one
Perfect.
player that I want to hit a little bit on the longer term,
Okay.
which is Super Bowl MVP that
Kenneth.
we have just gifted to what a couple I mean as of last year was a dynasty, right?
Yeah.
And so I will pose to you this.
Okay.
We talked earlier about the age of running back records and all that. We are an eyelash away, I believe. Just a whisper in the wind away from Kenneth Walker being involved in conversations as one of the greatest running backs of all time. And
Not wrong.
you know that I don't like Kenneth Walker all that much.
I know, but look at where he landed. I
So
mean, jeez.
and it's not even, right? It's not even because it's like, and it's a 2 year deal, right? 2 year deal. Basically, like it's $14 million a year. That's great. Kind of low, but like we're there. Where reason why I say this? How often does a running back win Super Bowl MVP?
Almost never.
Almost never. Contrary to what Freddie will tell you.
I know.
Almost never. Let's pretend that the Chiefs go out and win a Super Bowl this year, as a lot of people kind of think they might. Let's pretend that, like in most games that the Chiefs play in very clutch moments, while Patrick Mahomes is amazing, he highlights the other players, and Kenneth Walker goes out and gets 3 touchdowns. Let's pretend that Kenneth Walker wins another Super Bowl MVP. And all of a sudden, we're talking about a running back winning not 1, but 2 Super Bowl MVPs. And let's pretend that happens in another year. Let's say they sign him to an extension. He gets 1 more. We could be talking about in a potential dynasty, we have a running back that has already won Super Bowl MVP that is joining them in his supposed prime. I'm saying there's a world, and then there's not that, like, their wide receivers are good, but they're not that strong to take away from him. There's a world that touchdown-wise, he may have nowhere near the top 20 rushing yards all time. He may have nowhere near the top 20 rushing touchdowns all time, but we might be talking about the Julian Edelman of running backs, or a guy that we kind of put up there as like, oh, dude, he might be a borderline Hall of Famer based off of his Super Bowl appearances alone.
Yep.
I would say, yeah, like I genuinely sit there and I go, there is a world that Kenneth Walker puts himself in without having to put up great stats, in the position of potential conversation of greatest running back of all time, depending on how they do in the end game in the playoffs. I don't know. Tell me I'm absolutely crazy on that.
Okay, so you're absolutely crazy, but only for this reason, and that is you are putting yourself in the best position to win. Like, you really are. but I think you're way closer to Julian Edelman than you are Emmitt Smith, or any of those guys, right? It's like you're saying like when you are the running back for the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs. At the end of the day, it's Patrick Mahomes that's going to get the credit, the most credit, right? And so you are like kind of capping yourself. You are the running back for the Chiefs, and you might be able to help create this like second dynasty. That's totally possible. But Patrick and Andy will always get the credit for that. Now, Kenneth Walker has completely, in my opinion, like turned his career into something that it wasn't, which was, he's going to be a free agent, but the Seahawks are moving off of him. The Seahawks moved off of him, but he moved on to like a Super Bowl caliber team any given year, if not the favorite. So it's like you're in a really great position if you're Kenneth Walker. You're not going to reach those kinds of conversations, but hey, you're going to win potentially a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, and I will say, right? If you look up, I'm leading the witness here a little bit, like leading the Google here a little bit. But
Yeah.
if you look up, like, should Julian Edelman be in the Hall of Fame? It's a lot of hot button debates going back and forth, right? You have one saying that like yes he should be. Now he's a real argument for it. But
Right.
don't stop the nonsense. He's not one. Like it is a genuine debate, and I'll tell you, his season stats, as far as like season stats for wide receivers versus running backs, are nowhere near as good as Kenneth Walker's right now. And so
That's fair. That's fair.
And so I'm saying like if Kenneth Walker has the postseason performance, if he can replicate that with the Chiefs, and if he can go out and win 1 to 2 more, if he can win 2 more Super Bowls and 1 more Super Bowl MVP,
Yeah.
I would say he has a Hall of Fame case regardless of how he does in the regular season.
Totally. I think I'm very curious to see how he replicates this in the regular season because, he's not a bell cow guy. Like he is the ground and pound, like first down, second down, maybe even third down back. Sometimes, but he's not he could catch the ball towards the end there because he had to, and he was pretty good at it, and Sam Darnold could get it to him. And Patrick Mahomes could definitely get him the ball. That's not a problem. I'm curious to see how they complement that backfield and who's that second, third guy behind him because he's going to be the guy, and he's going to be the star running back, and he might be the star player on offense. Beyond Patrick Mahomes, no special wide receiver. We're seeing what happens with Rashee Rice, right? But I think I'm curious to see who they add because that's going to be important to me. Who is complementing Kenneth Walker because that could help. I don't think Kenneth Walker is good enough to be Derrick Henry, but get him that second guy. He might put up a couple 1,000-yard seasons for the next couple of years. 10 plus touchdowns. It's not out of the question at all.
And what I'll say, just did a little research.
Mm-hmm.
No running back has ever won 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Yeah, I could have said, yeah, I would have been shocked if that were true. Again, the only thing that is like probably not is how is it never gonna not like how is it not going to Patrick Mahomes?
Yes,
Patrick Mahomes
like
will
to
have
me, it's like he would need to have 3 touchdowns in the game. Like Patrick Mahomes is not Sam Darnold. It's like automatically going to have the sex appeal
even
attached to
if
it, the name appeal, everything.
Yeah, and it's like who's to say like. It's like, and those touchdowns matter. It's like Patrick Mahomes drives you 99 yards and you score on the goal line. That's not going to be as favorable as like, or maybe Patrick Mahomes tosses you that touchdown anyway. It's going to be really challenging to outshine the golden boy of the NFL.
Yep.
But I can easily see you winning another Super Bowl in your life, Kenneth Walker. I can easily see you getting 1,000-yard seasons back to back here at 10 yards, 10 touchdowns. Like it's totally possible. Sky's the limit for you. Congratulations, you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You've gone from winning a Super Bowl and the MVP to the best thing a running back could ever get, which is $14 million a year, and that. Wow.
So,
but I did tell you, the Chiefs were definitely getting in on this market. I didn't think they were getting love. I didn't think it was going to be that, but I knew they were getting a running back.
So
let's going to miss out.
So let's assume, right? Because no one knows where Jeremiah Love's going now. Could be probably Washington.
I think it's Washington. Yeah, because they're the ones who got left out. They got left out. I don't think it's Tennessee. I think Washington. They got left out of the running back race in free agency.
Yep.
So there you go.
But weirder things have happened. So
Sure, sure.
what I'll tell you right now, and again, we have plenty of shows to talk about the rest of these signees as well. Well, I'm going to hop on some wide receivers in a minute, but I'm going to ask you, who has the most rushing yards this year? Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, or Jeremiah Love?
Oh, not Travis Etienne. I know he had a career year. Congratulations. The offense on the Saints isn't doing it. Jeremiah Love, it really depends. Because if Jeremiah Love ends up on the Commanders, like I think he hopefully should. Like Jane Daniels, Jeremiah Love, I think that would be really exciting. And he could really benefit from that.
Yep.
But until I see where Jeremiah Love goes officially, I'm gonna say Kenneth Walker because I
Okay.
know that offense is gonna produce. Right? It's like let's say it's all-purpose yards because all of these guys can catch the ball, and Kenneth Walker is actually the weakest at that, in my opinion. He's
Yeah.
actually the best rusher out of all of them. Well, actually, Jeremiah Love's obviously the best rusher, but I digress. Excuse me. It's like I think Kenneth Walker. What you're guaranteed is a working offense with Andy Reid, and that's going to get you down the field.
So then I'll do that game one more time with the next tier.
Okay.
Buccaneers new running back Kenneth Gainwell,
Okay.
Tyler Algier on the Cardinals,
Okay.
Rico Dowdle on the Steelers,
Mm-hmm.
and Isaiah Pacheco playing the if you want to call it Tails to the Sonic in Detroit.
Okay.
You can laugh at that, but we're talking about a team that produced both Monty and Gibbs, right? It's like, look, that this is the next tier of running backs. You got these guys are all kind of two, one B's with the exception of Tyler Algier, but Tyler Algier's on the Cardinals.
So I think what this is Jameer Gibbs is about to be the first overall pick in every draft. You could start a dynasty league.
Give
and
me
he might be the
Bijan.
number one.
Bijan has no.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, give me Bijan, man. He's no
Okay.
secondary right now.
I know, but Gibbs is just. I love Bijan Robinson, but the thing the Lions have is a functional quarterback, and so but they just got Tua, so I guess we'll see. And do you know what Devon A. Chain with Tua? That's not a bad. Hey, do you know what? You're cooking here. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was so wrong. But let's we go through it. Pacheco's out, I think, because
Okay.
Gibbs is just too strong.
You got Dowdle, Algier, and Gainwell still.
Right, so you go to Gainwell, and frankly, the Steelers just Gainwell. Oh wait, sorry, Gainwell's not on.
Gainwell's on the Bucs.
Gainwell's on the
with
Bucks,
Bucky.
right? Sorry, Gainwell's with Bucky, and I just think Bucky's younger. He's better. Gainwell. Bucky gets hurt. Sure, he's the lead back there, but Bucky's he's Bucky Irving. He's just way better, and he's younger, and they kind of play similar positions in a way. Bucky's can he's not as finesse as Gainwell, but I think just by proxy, Bucky blows him out of the water. Rico Dowdle on the Steelers. Problem with Rico on the Steelers is one, who's their quarterback? Got to know who their quarterback is. And two, they really do like Jalen Warren. Let's say what it was. The rookie they have, total bust. Who was it again? It's
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson. Same conversation as R.J. Harvey. It's like, hey, you know what? It didn't work. It didn't work out for you. I'm sorry. You're not good enough. And so I think they really love Jalen Warren there, and so he's not going to be phased out of the offense at all by Rico Dowdle. But that's more closer to like a Sonic Knuckles if you really want to say anything. But that offense might not be good enough to do that. And then you go to Tyler Algier, who, was always behind Bijan, but he can put up solid performances. Who is he really competing against in the Cardinals? Truly, no one. Trey Benson? I guess. He's going to be everyone's darling this year, Trey Benson. Oh, he's finally going to pop off. And James Conner's back. I think he's too old. But Tyler Algier is definitely the most talented running back in that room, I think. And I think he's going to take command of that backfield.
Where Tyler Algier to me kind of feels like is like, you remember, and granted, Tyler Algier has had a season as a starter where he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it kind of, so did Damian Pierce back in the day. It kind of
Sure.
feels like when everyone kind of pegged Zamir White as like the next guy. And then
That's a fair take.
And then it's like he went out there, or Alexander Madison's another one, right? Where it's like, and then he went out there and everyone was like, Oh, he's good, and now right, you look at like Zamir White and Alexander Madison, both have had moments since then, right? They've had the
Right.
occasional game where I will say, and I think the leader in rushing yards from that next tier is going to be far and away Rico Dowdle.
I get it. He had a stretch there that he was awesome.
Also, who was his head coach in his best years as starter?
Earthy.
Yeah, and now
I
Mike
mean,
McCarthy,
yeah.
the new coaching staff, has gone in, and yes, Jalen Warren is still there, but this is not, I do think it's an indictment on Caleb Johnson, but it's more like it's also like they don't sit there and go like, hey, Jalen Warren's a 3 down back like the last staff kind of said he was before the season before Gainwell kind of picked it up. So
Yeah.
I just see like you're signing a guy that is known as a early down back. He's not a
Yep.
receiving back, and you have a
No.
receiving back on your roster. I would not be surprised if you have Rico running out and getting 15 to 20 touches a game compared to like Algier. The Cardinals just have this wonderful ability to kind of just re-sign Michael Carter eventually and put him out for like a game. So it's just Algier. I feel like it's gonna be touching toes with James Conner all year.
No, that's a super valid take. I think like, you're benefiting from these players being like those coaches' picks, right? Caleb Johnson's done. He wasn't a Mike McCarthy pick. I mean, I guess he can go somewhere else, but he's not what they thought he was going to be. I think they drafted him third round or second,
It was
possibly.
third round, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded like on draft day to like the
Yeah, just as
Jaguars or something. Because you got some
no, 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 no,
cheese
hey, hey,
now.
hey, 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 no, 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 no. It's Bashaw Tootin time, brother. It's Bashaw Tootin, and
So
that's the
so
most southern I'll get.
that's where I was gonna ask you after that is who do you believe in more? And the answer is Bashal Tootin. But
It's
who do you
Bashaw
believe
Tootin.
who do you believe has an actual legitimate chance at starting? Bashal Tootin or George Holani, who is now the starting running back because Charbonnet is probably not going to be out there for the first like 4 to 6 weeks. Uh, George Holani or Bashal Tootin, who's the starting running back week 1 for their respective team?
It's Bashaw Tootin. He was drafted by this coaching staff. He showed some awesome flashes his rookie year. He wasn't always great, but he had some really awesome highlights too. And I think, you lose Travis Etienne, which I knew they would. Not to the team I thought they would. Crazy. But, Jeremiah Love could be a Saint still. Travis Etienne, I know he signed that contract, but anyway. Yeah, I think Bashaw Tootin just, that coaching staff that's their guy. They picked him. He showed enough. I think he'll have the opportunity, and let's see what he can do with the workload. Zach Charbonnet is the same way. It's like they're going to use him. They showed that they were going to move on from Kenneth Walker before the Super Bowl, and the injury to Charbonnet happened. They're still gonna. That's the plan moving forward for them.
I do worry about like the Seahawks have to address that room, man. Like in
Of
some
course.
way, whether that's Rashad White coming in there or knowing it's probably gonna be like Kareem Hunt,
Yeah.
or some guy. But they got to
And
address
the
this.
Jags need a second running back as well. They
Yes.
need to figure that out too. I just think Bashaw Tootin is way more promise, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, and it's not just because of my bias. I own him in Dynasty, whatever. I just think in terms of opportunity and who picked you and why they picked you, it's just there.
Yeah, well, and that's where I see like the Jaguars like acquiring like a kind of a throwaway guy, right? So like Caleb Johnson or Miles Sanders or like some guy that's just kind of there. I will say they do like that coaching staff does like LaQuint Allen. Like
They do.
they do like him. They talked him up all year last year. It would be nice to see him get some run. He's kind of the same guy as Bashal Tootin, just a little bit less fast. So
Yeah.
it's not really all that much. So going into our last little bit here, we'll talk tight ends and offensive line and defense later as well, but we might do that like next week. Let's go into some wide receivers here. So
Yeah, we're missing some heavy hitters.
we're missing some heavy hitters here. The big one, big fish of all of it, Mike Evans, dude.
Of course.
Mike
Crazy.
Evans, for the 49ers, again, it's obvious Ayuk's not going to be back there. Juwan Jennings.
Where does he go? That's what I want to. Where does he go? I have no idea.
Honestly, probably I would say a Titan, but Dable's gone and gotten Wandale, which hey, good for Wandale, and honestly good for the Titans in my opinion. I think Wandale
Yeah,
be a sneaky little 1,200 yard receiver there.
yeah.
Um,
I don't know if Cam Ward's good enough, but
yeah,
maybe
but
maybe
maybe
Ayuk's a
maybe that helps
cheap.
him out. I would say like Ayuk would be a good Patriot man.
No, they just signed their guy. But Mike Evans, crazy. It's weird to he felt like a lifelong buck, and like I'm glad you got your money, and you're. I think he's still going to do really well with Brock Purdy. I think that's really good for them. But it just feels a little weird, you know.
Well,
It,
the
it
craziest part about this entire contract is not the money, the
hmm
years.
Yeah, that's true.
3
He's old.
years. I was
Yeah,
I was thinking like, oh man, he's gonna
he's old for a
fade into the
receiver. That is.
well, but still, like I thought he was gonna. I was like, oh, he's gonna fade into the receiver. Yeah, fade into the sunset. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, he'll sign a 1 year deal, and it'll kind of be like, you know, or maybe 2 years, like Devonte Adams esque, right? Where it's like, okay, he's gonna kind of age gracefully, or like pull a kind of a Julio Jones and age terribly, and all of a sudden just kind of fall off the face of the earth. But
Right.
I was not expecting a 3 year deal, and with a team that now is like, yeah, maybe he goes to like the Patriots, or maybe he goes to the Broncos, or like he goes to a team, or even like the Chiefs or something, where he's not like, yes, with the Patriots he'd probably be the number one option, but like maybe he goes to
Of
a
course.
team where he'd be like the two ish, or like the 1B or something.
Hmm.
No, he's going to a team where they still haven't resigned. Juwan Jennings is still a free agent, right?
Yep.
Ayuk's not going to be back. Ricky
Nope.
Pearsall,
He's
uh,
fine.
he's okay. He is a like number three on a
Yeah.
legitimate team.
Yeah.
And so you really have just like Mike Evans out there. You have Kittle, who's like but he's getting older. He's
Hmm.
reaching his Travis Kelsey era, and it's
Yep.
like, oh man, he might like again. Talking we've chatted a little bit dynasty here today. It's like his dynasty value has revived just because it's like, oh, he actually has to play 3 more years. Like this is
Yeah.
not a fading off into the sunset. He might have 3 more 1,000 yard seasons.
And look, death, taxes, and Mike Evans gets 1,000 yards. You know what I mean?
Oh
That
yeah,
was the phrase. I grew up with that phrase. It was my gospel basically. I memorized it. I say it every night. But no, I think it's like, yeah, he could do really well with Brock Purdy. That offense knows how to draw up a play, and you're the only option, frankly. And we've seen receivers of much like lesser talent than Mike Evans succeed there. So, what's Mike Evans gonna do? Yeah, he's older, but look at Devonte Adams. He's still wheeling and dealing, man. With a
oh
good
yeah.
enough quarterback and a good enough coach.
As
Yeah,
long as Christian McCaffrey doesn't suck his life force, man, like
right. No,
everyone else got taken. As long as Mike Evans doesn't get taken, I will say for the Bucks, I feel good about them still. They still have Godwin to kind of lead that receiver room, like mentor wise, but Ibuka probably taking that step up.
yep.
They could still draft. I would not put it past them to try to draft a receiver again this year.
No, no. I think that could totally work for them. I do think though, they have full confidence in Emeka Ibuka.
And McMillan,
Sure.
McMillan looks good too.
McMillan looks solid. He's good enough to be that three there with Godwin. Now, how Godwin's still playing after his foot was backwards shocks me to this day. But I think that hey, Emeka Ibuka, we really believe in you. You balled out. You kind of piddled off towards the end of the season, but I think he takes a big step up, and so that was a big one. Maybe the Patriots are still getting AJ Brown. I guess I don't know.
I guess. I mean, like to me, it's the dream would have been the Patriots getting Michael Pittman, dude.
That would have been cool.
Because like that would have been great.
Wait,
And
but they
like,
got better than Michael Pittman.
look,
He got better.
if you're gonna tell me, no, you didn't even have a straight face to start that. So yeah, no,
What's up? Do you remember my tears? Do you remember my wide receiver tears?
I remember throwing up. I,
No,
remember, I
dude.
remember regurgitating during that.
Stop. Okay, we're moving to Romeo Dobbs, all right? I am a lifelong Packers fan. I watched this kid on my team. I watched him. If you want to say who is the best overall wide receiver on the Packers, It was Romeo Dubs. He can run the entire route tree. He's slick. He's fast. He is great with his hands and after the catch. I'm telling you, with Drake May, like, he's going to be the best receiver on the team. Was it a lot of money for Romeo? Yes. I knew we were going to lose him because we couldn't pay him. But he is the best wide receiver we had. I'm fine not keeping him because I really believe in Reed and Golden and Watson. I think that's a great trio. I think they all do different kinds of things, and they're going to complement each other's games super well. Romeo Doubs was our best overall receiver. He can do anything on the field. He's tall, he's fast, he's big. He's A.J. Brown light, frankly.
Look, I hate what you just said.
I'm not kidding.
That's disgusting. No.
He's gonna pop off with Drake May. There's no one better on the team than him, and I promise he's good.
So his career high was this last year.
Think about how many receivers are in that room, though.
So this is where I was going.
He's the one.
They're all the same guy. They're all the same guy. Romeo Doubs, Demario Douglas, or Pop Douglas, if you want to call him that, Keyshawn Boutte, and Mac Hollins are all the same exact guy.
I am telling you right now, Romeo Doubs is better than all of them. I'm telling you right now, Romeo Doubs is better than all of them. And you talk about losing someone like Stephon Diggs, who can run the whole route tree, that is a really great check down kind of guy too. He can do anything on the field. You're losing Stephon Diggs. Frankly, you're replacing him with a younger Stephon Diggs. He is good enough he can do anything you need with him offensively. I promise. I'm calling it right now, stamping it. He is going to have 1,000 yards next year at least, and 8 touchdowns. That's his floor with Drake May. I promise. He's going to be great.
They all... Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
It's not. He's awesome. There's the talent is there. I've watched him for years. I promise, man. That guy is great.
The yards per catch is crazy. They're all within about half a yard of each other. That's
he's the best one. He's the best one there.
No, not in yards per catch. I'll tell you that. He's the third.
That's fine.
Of 4. He just got targeted a little bit more.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Romeo Doubs and Drake May. That's great.
He is the same exact wide receiver that they have, and that to me means they're gonna get someone else.
They still might trade for someone, but they signed him for a lot of money. They believe in him.
They're gonna go.
They give him a lot of money.
They should go get BTJ, man.
No, they shouldn't. Not at all.
Look, they are. It's the same deal as the Raiders signing Jalen Nailor, dude. It's they're just kind of getting a guy that they hope can fill a body role and maybe elevate into a 1, but he's not that good. It's the Christian Kirk deal, dude. It's the Christian Kirk deal.
Dude, Christian Kirk balls out. Christian Kirk balled out on the Jags. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about the Christian Kirk deal on the Texans, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, well they have Nico when he's been hurt, and that's different. Now I'm talking about Christian Kirk from the Cardinals to the Jags. You're skipping a step there. When he was on the Jags, he was awesome.
Look, here's what I'll say. Receiver-wise, who has the most receiving yards between? Yeah, and honestly, you know what? I'll throw all of these guys in here. Let's start at the top with Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Wandale, Romeo Doubs, and Jalen Nailor. I'm saying the most receiving yards out of all these guys, Wandale Robinson.
Well, obviously, you're talking about different kinds of career lengths here, all right? Romeo Doubs, this is his 4th year in the league.
Obviously. I mean, well, yeah, obviously, but he didn't make the most money out of all those guys.
No, but what I will say is that he truly, you're talking, he's getting so much hate. And I think just because people don't know him. I truly believe this. I think people know his name, but because they're like, oh my God, why did he get so much money? He hasn't done anything flashy. That guy, in the end zone especially, I mean, he can just go up and get the ball. It's just, he's great. And with a quarterback that's only going to target him, because we spread the ball out in Green Bay.
They
He's gonna
spread the
get the
ball
ball.
about. They spread the ball out in New
But I
England,
think
though.
he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the best guy in that room. I think he's gonna really ball out there. I really believe it. I don't think he was like our offense is not good. Is not privy to. We really spread the ball out in a big way, right? And Romeo, I just think he's more talented than all the Mac Hollins of the world and the Pop Douglas.
So
I think he's just way
here,
better.
here's what I'll ask you: Do do you think that he was the best receiver in your room this last year
As an overall talent, yeah, I do. I do.
over
I think
Jaden
had Jaden
Reed,
Reed,
over Christian Watson,
the biggest thing with Jaden Reed
over
is the
Golden?
injury. It's both of. Well, it was better than Golden, but I think Golden's going to take a step up. It's they got hurt, and now when Christian Watson came back and when Jaden Reed came back, they looked really good. And I think the reason we didn't keep Romeo, but instead we kept we're keeping all these three guys, is because they're going to complement each other super well. Whereas Romeo is the most talented overall receiver, I think, in our room. He was going to get a lot of money, and it's just too expensive for us to keep. So now we have different kinds of players at this position that we can really cycle through in different plays, draw up different kinds of things. Romeo was too expensive for us, and I think
So
since the league sees his value,
was he the best receiver in your room
like
from a
in
talent
terms of
standpoint? Let's say everyone was
yeah,
healthy.
I do. I
Let's say
think
everyone was healthy.
it's hard because really at their peak, like I've seen them all shine in like very special ways.
Yeah.
But I do think that Romeo, yeah,
So more
he could have been,
talented than
yeah.
Jaden Reed when everyone's healthy. More talented than
Yeah,
Christian Watson
maybe,
when
and
everyone's healthy.
it's not a knock on Jaden Reed or Christian Watson. I just think Romeo is like he's overall like he could do what everyone does. I really think he can do anything. He's not just like a specialty kind of guy receiver. He can do exactly what you need him to do, and he has the size for it.
So where I'll say this is, I disagree with you,
Of course you do.
and I see a guy that's very good, that could not differentiate himself in a room of good wide receivers, not great wide receivers, leaning closer to mediocre wide receivers than great wide
They're,
receivers,
wait, stop. They're all good wide receivers.
closer to mediocre than they are great. Okay,
Okay, keep going.
and he's joining a room full of good wide receivers that are closer to mediocre than great, and he will once again not be able to differentiate himself. Like that that's genuinely it. And I will use your same argument that you used for Alec Pierce's signing being better for Josh Downs, is that he has now just put a target on his head for making the most money in that room, and unless they
Sure.
trade for someone else, unless they trade for a BTJ
And
or
they
an AJ
and they
Brown
I think they
or
still might
draft
get it.
somebody,
I don't
right?
know if they'll draft someone.
Unless they trade or draft for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
or trade for and draft somebody, I think if he goes into the season with the biggest target on his head because of how much money he's making, he's going to get shut down. And you'll see guys like Mac Hollins, like Pop Douglas, like Keishon Butte take a step up because there's no one else. Hunter Henry,
Maybe.
take a step up.
I just think that also like Hunter. I thought Hunter. No. I'm thinking of Austin Hooper. He's gone.
Austin Hooper, he's a Falcon now.
He's a Falcon. He's a Falcon again. I think. My biggest thing is I think Josh Downs is just better than Alec Pierce. Frankly, I think Josh Downs is a better overall wide receiver. That's why I think he benefits because he's going to be better. And Alex Pierce is like seen as the deep ball threat. That's just what he is. I think that Romeo, if they get nobody, I hear your point. I really hear your point. It makes logical sense. I just believe in him more. I think that Drake May also the passing opportunities in New England higher. Drake May throws the ball more than Jordan Love's throwing the ball. It's just what it is. I think the Patriots are going to have to compete more in these games too. I think they're going to not have an easier time. They're going to have to be forced to throw the ball a little bit more, and he's going to benefit. I really think his floor is 1,000 yards and about 8 touchdowns.
We'll see. I think it's closer to what he's been his entire career, which is like 600 to 700. And that is that, and that for the entire receiver. Again, unless a deal happens, unless someone gets traded or drafted, right? Because if they go out there and they
I don't know if they'll draft. They're not one of the big guys.
No, but if they go out there and get like Casey Concepcion, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, he can take some heat off. He's gonna be a first round wide receiver. He'll take
Sure.
some heat off, and it'll be like, there's a world where he becomes a specialty guy, and Dobbs is like, okay, like I'm gonna throw it to you once a game, or not once a game, once a drive type of thing, rather than the like, hey, you're gonna take 3 plays off because we have the exact same guy copy pasted 50 times. So that's ultimately my thoughts. Is there any free agent, Josh, as we kind of wrap this up? And again, we can talk offensive line, defense, everything. Is there any free agent? I'll give you 2 full questions. You can answer which one.
Okay.
One of the two. Either is there any free agent that we didn't talk about today that you're like, dude, this is crazy, sneaky sign, or is there any free agent that hasn't signed yet that you go, oh, this is gonna be like at the end of the day when we talk about this, in 12 months, a year from now, we're gonna be like, wow, dude, he didn't sign till later, but man, he made a difference.
I mean, the biggest one in the room that we didn't highlight because we briefly mentioned in passing because it's just not official anywhere is Kyler Murray, and we talked about it a little bit, and I'm just circling back. He is going to be the most interesting once he signs somewhere. I know Malik Willis was the darling of the class, and everyone wanted him, and he got his money, all that. Kyler Murray will be the story of next year for quarterbacks in a different place. We'll check in on Malik Willis. We'll check in on Tua. We'll check in on all these guys. Depending on where Kyler Murray signs, because he's signing to start. He's not competing like I think Tua might be competing. And Malik Willis did sign to start, but there's still some like, push pull. Will he be good? Will he not be good? Kyler Murray wants to be the starter somewhere, and I think he's gonna beat out whoever's there anyway, depending. And like, what if he goes to a team like the Browns? It's crazy, but yeah, it's Kyler to Baker to Kyler. That'd be kind of funny, two Oklahoma boys, and how they anyway. We'll see, and I think that's gonna be. I'm very interested to see where Kyler goes because that's the biggest name out there.
Oh yeah, well and I will say
and that's an easy answer.
Sure, and I'll go a little bit on the deeper cut. I talked about him a little bit last week. I think this year's Javonte Williams has not signed yet, which I think is Rashad White. I think he will.
Yeah, I'm not a Rashad White guy.
And that's totally fine. I think it's the same story as Javonte from a couple years ago, right? He had a really good start, then he kind of loses his spot, and then he falls out. I will say him, and believe it or not, now, who knows? But a little sneaky signing, like the sneakiest of sneaks, is Sean Tucker as well out of there. So both those guys have left the Buccaneers offense.
Are they both available?
Yeah.
Okay, Sean Tucker's interesting,
right? So young. It's just I look at these rooms and I go, okay, not everybody's going to be able to draft a running back. You have a team like Seattle.
Sure.
And if Seattle goes out, right? So let's say the Commanders say, you know what, screw it, we're going to keep Bill and we're going to sign, Rashad White. Great. Well, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, let's roll. Same thing with like you see a team like Jacksonville, and they're like, hey, we're gonna keep Bashal Tootin, but we're gonna sign Sean Tucker.
Sean Tucker on the Chiefs, that would be cool.
Or that too, right? It's like you put him like as kind of the bowling ball in between with him and Kenneth Walker. All of a sudden I'm like, oh hey, I'm into that. Like I'm very much into that. I think those are two guys. Sean Tucker's young enough too that I could be like, and he's done the Rico Dowdle thing where when given the touches, he's turned in big performances.
Agreed.
That like Denver, right? It's like, oh, hey, if Denver goes in and picks up Sean Tucker, I'm like, oh, hey, let's see what can happen, right? And so not everyone's gonna have even a crack at drafting Jeremiah Love. So I'm interested to see where those guys go. Of course, right? Like Sean Tucker goes to the Eagles, then I don't care. But
sure.
While this time is a mystery, I'm interested to see where he ends up. So those are two guys that I'm just kind of like keeping my eye on, keeping the thumb down on. But overall, That's been like only 2 days of free agency.
I know it. There's so much to keep up with, and it's
Yeah,
like
we didn't even
we're
get through
scratching the
everything.
surface. I know it's crazy.
It's absolutely wild, but I will say, that is why I love this time of year, man. I absolutely love this time of year. I love that dynasty leagues are now open again. I love that everyone's able
How
to
many
be
how many weeks in a row am
yeah
I gonna say that I'm gonna open it this week? I swear.
yeah. How many?
How many
How
weeks do you
many?
think? Wait, what's the over under? I think it's been three so far.
It's been
Um,
18.
no, okay, all right. How many weeks have I said I'm gonna open it? That's the
You said you were
question.
opening it right after the Super Bowl. You did say that.
Oh, I did say that. I know
You
I did.
did, and
Yeah,
I keep quoting that.
yeah, I know. I'm actually gonna join Freddy's Dynasty League too, so I'm
That's
gonna be in
okay.
that one.
I have another one that we're starting. But anyway,
Oh, I'm gonna be in that one too. I'm gonna be in so many. It's gonna be awesome.
yep, there we go. So, but dude, I love this time of year, man,
Yeah.
and it's a fun time. So I'm looking forward to it. And any last words before we hop off here?
No, but the Raiders are gonna be good next year.
I
So I keep thinking about them.
I
Keep thinking
don't
about them.
I don't dislike that take. I like
I
it.
just want to plant my flag. I want to be the Raiders guy here. Dibs.
I go listen to last week's episode. Even before free agency, I said the same thing.
I don't
Um,
remember that. You're lying.
no,
The people haven't heard it, so who
I
knows?
know.
Depends on what they listen to first.
I know. But that is also back when Max Crosby was going to be a Raven, and that they were
Yeah,
going to have that extra first round pick.
that's true.
So hopefully if they can get that and they can get a first round wide receiver to pair with Mendoza, we're cooking, man.
They're cooking.
So, anyways, all that being said, it was a good one, man, and I will see you next week. Everybody, thank you for listening, and
See you.
we'll see you next week.